Oh my God, this lady is a dear friend of mine. She is a community leader up in where she lives in the Auburn area. She's also has several businesses she's owned. She takes care of her dad. She's also a regional vice president, and she made a decision a couple of weeks ago to relaunch that whole Sacramento, Placerville area, and she is claiming it to be her domain, and she's going to do some crazy stuff like never before. She's like James Brown, I'm back, boom, boom. So she's back at it. Let's give a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, Miss Keri Roeder.
Good morning. I am so excited for this morning. It was really funny. So, yes, I'm a shark, and y'all heard that last week. That was really funny. That was pointed out. But I'm also a dolphin in like the social part of my life. So this morning, I'm in the mirror curling my hair, right, and I have my YouTube going with the personal development, and a text comes through, and it's Mr. L. Thomas texting me. So I took a screenshot, and I'm like, "Excuse me, you're interrupting my morning personal development with my mentor." Right? But how fun is that to be able to be so intimate is the word that came to my head, but so close to one of the top producing people, not just in ACN, but in everything like globally in direct sales, that we can access him via YouTube and learn from him in the comfort of our home. And then it's pretty cool when he texts you in the middle of that. Like that was like, just like, I get the chills. Like that's so cool. The level of love and support that Mr. Al Thomas gives us is just, there are no words that can accurately describe. For those of you that are new, welcome. Hello, I'm Keri Roeder. For those of you that are new, this is my saying with Mr. Thomas. Do not take him for granted. Take advantage of him. Use him as your biggest asset and tool. Even if you're not working directly with him, your leader is, and we're just modeling the things he teaches us, whether it's live on these calls, whether you're watching a recording or not. Absolutely amazing. And you know what's funny is the one I was watching actually was Ms. Roxanne Coralejo from last Tuesday, and she talked about what are you communicating, and it was powerful. And it's so funny because she and I are really a lot alike, and so her message from last Tuesday is the message I often give everybody, right? Those of you who know me, when people ask me, my word is fabulous. She used fantastic. I use fabulous. So we're going to talk an extension of, I'm going to finish what I was saying last week, but it's an extension of what Roxanne taught the very next day, right? What are we communicating? And so as I get started, I really want you to know, again, for the new people on this call, what you're going to see is when Mr. Al Thomas asks everybody, what'd you do this week? You know, leads, customers. You're going to see in that chat list consistent names. Right? Yep, consistent names. We want a whole bunch of people doing a lot of work, or no, yeah, a lot of people doing a little bit of work, okay? But you're looking for people, you're identifying people that are the ones out there doing the work. And so, and don't be disappointed when they're not the person that you recruited. I think so many times people, you know, they recruit somebody, they get somebody started, they're like, yeah, this person's taking me to the top of the company. First of all, one person can't take you to the top of the company. One person can create one line of a successful business, okay? Don't get so sold out on that one person that you're not asking who they know to find the people who are willing to do the work, to have the success that it is that they're looking for, and in turn around have your success. So I'm going to continue my conversation. And again, this is, as you can see from previous months, I kind of do segments, right? So to continue my conversation from last week, and I'm no longer in Santa Barbara by the beach, you guys. Now I'm back in Northern California in the foothills. It's a bummer, real big bummer. Anyway, but to finish our conversation from last week, we talked about knowing the compensation plan. We talked about what, when, and where, right? And the attire. We talked about how bad do you want it, and do your reflections, your actions reflect that? And then that is when I think it was Mr. Tom or Harrison, one of them said, oh, there was the shark in her. Absolutely, because now we're talking business. Okay, so to continue, how like Roxanne talked about last Tuesday, how are you presenting yourself? Are you the dude going, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm tired? Or are you the one going, I'm fantastic, or I'm fabulous? You would have never understood hanging in there. Hanging into what? Like, what? What are you hanging on to? Like, seriously, if you want to be attractive, you have to be attractive. Oh, actually, hold on. Duh, because you've heard me say this before. You're attracting. And Roxanne talked about it on Tuesday. You're attracting. Who are you attracting? Who are you attracting by how you're showing up? So, you know how sometimes I talked about how in my community, because I'm in a foothill community, if I go to the grocery store all dolled up, right? In the middle of the day, I'm sending a message. It looks like I'm taking a break from work and just running to the grocery store, like a busy mom, right? But if I go to the grocery store and I'm in my casual outfit, but I look cute, it's an opportunity for me to engage in a conversation with somebody else that's also in the grocery store in the middle of the day, right? Well, on last Friday, the NorCal Marketplace, watch out, guys, we're taking over, right? The NorCal Marketplace, we were done with our business lunch and learn, and it was down in the little farther into the city, and I had to go to Walmart, and I forgot flip-flops. And so here I am in Walmart in my cute little dress, because it's Sunny's California, and my top down, my convertible top down, Mr. Thomas, I gotta say that, convertible car top down. Anyway, so I'm walking into Walmart in my heels, right in my dress and my purse, which I always have my purse, but I'm walking in, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm so overdressed for Walmart. This is so weird. And as I'm walking in, this other woman's grabbing a cart and she's dressed casual. And she goes, you look so beautiful. I love your dress. Thank you, right? So as we start walking into Walmart together, of course, ding, ding, ding. So I'm like, thank you so much. I feel overdressed. So it engages in a conversation. And I'm like, hey, like, you're just casual. What are you doing at Walmart, in the middle of the day, right? So it turned into a conversation that she has 2 jobs, working her butt off, and is open to extra income because I asked her if she was. We exchanged numbers. And so she wasn't able to go to our Blitz on the next day. So now I'm going to follow through with her. And I'm going to get her in front of the information. So how are you showing up and who are you wanting to attract? Okay. So today I want to talk about, we're going to talk about continuing our conversation about recruiting. You're looking to create curiosity. Remember last week I said how we tease Mr. Weber, right? Do you go to sleep in that suit? Do you wake up in that suit? Like, you ever take that suit off, right? What you're trying to do is create curiosity. It starts with your reason why. We talked about that last week. Remember, I kept pointing to the hotel room that my daughter was in, right? What is your reason why? And see, the mindset of recruiting, I want you to get over it as a negative thing. Let me ask you this. If your son or daughter, if a niece or nephew had been, and say they played baseball and they were recruited by the San Francisco Giants, right? Or they played football and they were recruited by the San Francisco 49ers, okay? What if somebody was super mind brilliant, right? And they were recruited by Apple? If they were recruited, by a doctor's office? If they were recruited to do one of those things, would you guys be proud? And would you not be telling everybody, my son, my daughter, my niece, my nephew, they were just recruited to go to Yale? Oh my gosh, who gets recruited to go to Yale, right? An Ivy League school. Or would you guys be like, oh my God, it's humiliating. My niece, my son, my daughter was recruited. How rude to recruit my kid. So I want you to get over the mindset that recruiting is a bad thing. Recruiting is the best compliment you could give somebody. It says, I see value in you. I see value in you. So in my personal development, one of the brilliant things that our mentor said, he said, when you are told the word no, successful people flip it and reverse it, and it is now on. Game on, Mr. Thomas, right? Game on. When he said that on one of his, every morning I listen to Mr. Thomas on YouTube. In one of those, when he said that, I was like, absolutely, game on. I love that. He also talked about a Colin Powell quote, results are preparation, hard work, and learning from our failures. So as we're out there and we're recruiting and we're building ACN, are we learning from our failures? Are we actually learning from our failures? And then you talked about Tom Edison. Tom Edison apparently said, vision without execution is delusion. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Vision. How many of you want SVP? And I love, by the way, where'd she go? Miss Sherion is now an SVPP. I love that. Right? How many of you, sorry, I missed your hands because I was looking for Sherion. How many of you want to be a senior vice president? Okay. Deborah, Kush, right? Absolutely. Harrison, Bob, everybody. Okay. Vision, SVP, without execution equals delusion. So let me ask you this, and I asked this lovingly. And if you didn't, you can do it tomorrow. Those of you who raised your hand, did you put anything in the chat in response to Mr. Thomas asking who's done what, who's done what, who's done what, customers, leads, right? If you didn't even do one section, then vision without execution is delusion. Now, I don't mean to be mean, but we talked about this in, I think, January, right? How did I put that? Talking about and doing, talking about doing it and doing it, right? So are you talking about wanting it, or are you actually doing the work that it takes to accomplish what it is you desire? Okay, so I want to talk to you about tracking your efforts. Now, I talked about this in January, right? I showed you my calendars and all that, but I want to show you, for those of you who know me, you know I'm pretty OCD, right? I'm type A, okay? I create systems for everything I do, and then I create a system, and then I find a better way to do it. So I want to tell you guys about an effective way of tracking that we do in ACN. Okay, oh, I have to unblur me. Hey, yep. Okay. Da, 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 da. This week I have my props because I'm not in Santa Barbara. Okay, so this is called 100 squares. Okay, see my 100 squares? Okay, it's on a big thing you can buy at the dollar store. But here's what I did. I altered the 100 squares. I left a blank spot under there. Why? Because one of the other things we teach is to build your book of no's. Build a book of people who say no. So on my 100 squares, I'm going to be putting in names of everybody, you know, that sees the business. And then I'm going to be marking yes, no, otherwise, right? Customer, IBO, no. But then I'm going to write all the no's in that column. Because what exactly? 10,000 no's to SVP. Absolutely. The more people who say no, the faster you will get to regional vice president. And here's why. Not everybody does ACN. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if you don't have a list of no's, what does that tell us as leaders? It tells us you're not showing the business. Okay. If you're showing the business, you're getting yeses and you're getting new business partners. You're getting no's and you're getting customers. You're getting no's and you're getting that negative brown apple, rotten apple thing, right? Who cares? Just go through the numbers. Go through the numbers. Now, in my anal tracking, okay, question I have to ask you is this, and we've talked about this before. What efforts, so for the new people, warm market, warm market, warm market, warm market, people you know, you're going to do a home meeting, you're going to do a PBZ, you're going to get in front of the people you know. And we talked about this, I think last week or maybe last month. What efforts are you putting in last week? What efforts are you putting in to go put yourself out there to meet new people? And actually, Roxanne talked about it last Tuesday. She said, who are you influencing? Are you meeting broke people? Are you constantly getting, I don't have the money? Or are you putting yourself out there to meet successful people? And I said this, you can, if you have a 9 to 5, you can go to a, dear God, 6:30 a.m. networking meeting, right? Or you could go to a lunch networking meeting, or you could go to an evening networking meeting where most of them happen. So fine, you're going out there. How are you showing up? Here's how I show up to all the networking efforts I do. I've got the heels, I've got the hair done, I've got the look, I've got the face painted, right? And I've got the smile, and I am fantastic. But guess what else I have? I am prepared. By the way, it says BU, but I am prepared. In my little bag that I keep in my purse, I have my business cards. And then I have printed invitations to the next up and coming event that I can hand people. And then what I do at first, and this is a training for another time, but first I ask them, hey, do you have a business card? So I get business cards and more business cards and more business cards, right? And then they say, oh, do you have one? Well, as a matter of fact, I do. I don't just go, hey, here's me, here's me, here's me. Like, take my business card. Nope. Do you have a business card? Absolutely. Matter of fact, I do. What do? I teach people how to generate income part-time on services they're already paid for and everybody uses and pays for every single month. I put people through an 18 to 24 month program that they can make 6 figures through consistent effort part-time. Something like that, right? And they go, wow, what's that? Hey, are you interested? And then I invite them to attend the next event, and then I give them the flyer. Hey, let me text you, so that way I can put you on the guest list, and then I'll remind you the day before, and I'll remind you the morning of. Okay. Then when I get home, today will be amazing. Okay. Now, then when I get home, I've told you guys I'm anal. I tape in their business cards and I write where I met them, the date where I met them, and their name and their business. Every day I go somewhere and I meet new people. Now, let me ask you a question. Could there be people in here with a poor mindset? They think $324 is a lot of money. Could there be? Yeah, absolutely. What are the odds of somebody being their own business owner or being so good at their job, they're willing to take their time in the evenings, or I don't go to the morning ones, but the lunch networking things, right? And they work for somebody else and they represent somebody else. What are the odds, do you think, that they have some level of success, or at least have a successful mindset because they're working their butts off to build somebody else's business? You could recruit them and they're going to have the good mindset that we're looking for of success. Now, here's the other thing I do. While I'm at a networking event, if it's one of those you actually sit down, right? If you're the social networking event, that's what I do. But here's what else I do. So when I go to a networking event where you actually sit down, you guys can't see it because of the light, but I actually take notes of who was there. You can't see it. I take notes of where I was, who was there, right? And then I can go back through and in time, I can recruit them. You don't necessarily want to recruit right away because you're jumping down their throat. If you're going to a consistent networking event, like every week or every month, there you want to create the relationships. You want to get people to know, like, and trust you. The business card exchange is when you're at networking events where it's more of a mixer and you're going around and you're just kind of mixing and mingling and meeting people. So there you do want to do the quick, right? Unless you're going to go consistently, you got to go find them again. But the networking events you go to where you actually sit down, you get your 60-second commercial and all of that, that's where I keep track of who and where. And did you notice this is the ACN Vivid little book? And so if somebody asks me, what's that? Oh, not you, right? I carry this one with me. This is my whole one, right? How are you keeping track? How are you keeping track? Now, most recently, because again, I'm always changing my system to make it perfect. So all my business cards, okay, most recently I've taken Ziploc baggies and colors of paper. And these are the people that I need to contact and invite. I got business cards back here to do that. These are the people that I need to ask to become my customer because they've already seen the business and they said, no, thank you. Cool. Yay, customers. Dude, I'm a single mom with a kid in college who doesn't have a job and she's freaking expensive. She called me the other night, Friday night. She's all, okay, Mom, so the girls and I were talking and I need like $1,000 right now to book for spring break. And I'm like, kid, get a job. Anyway, that's sort of how the conversation went. Her end, yes, but anyway. Okay, and then these are the people need to schedule follow up. It should say follow through, but too short on my paper here. These are the people who've seen the business, but haven't decided yet. They're on the fence. Get off the freaking fence, right? Jeez, let's make a decision. Anyway, but remember, my cousin had to see this 4 times before he said yes and then made the phone call to me. 4 times. Do not let that my asked to be a customer. Those are the hard no's. Hard no, hard no. Schedule follow up. These are the people who have not given me the hard no yet. Okay. So make sure you follow through, follow through, follow through, follow through. What is your system? Are you going to go to the dollar store, get one of these hard little things, right? Do your 100 squares, leave space for your list of no's, go out, find people, show the business. Who's the expert? Anybody but you? Show the business, and then let them decide the direction they're going to take. If you're new, here's what's amazing. The leader that you're working with, they're going to help you get into your own warm market, and you're still going to be able to do that 100 square thing. Okay. You're going to go amazingly fast. So again, as we're out there mixing and mingling, what message are we sending? What message are we sending? Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys have a grocery outlet, but in Northern California, we have a grocery outlet. It's a locally owned, they're each locally owned. And the woman that is part of the Chamber of Commerce of my town, she owns grocery outlet. And so I go to grocery outlet. Why? Because I also go to the chamber. And I say to Amy, hey, thanks. I got this cool little thing, right? Because again, I want her to know that I see value in her so that she can become a customer and we can exchange business. Anyway, so the other night, when we were done with the meeting, now it's in the evening hours and I was all dolled up, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go to a grocery outlet. So I went there in my heels and I walked around and, to see who might ask me, wow, it's 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night. Why are you so dolled up? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked, right? So how are you showing up? If you haven't watched Roxanne Corlejo's talk last Tuesday, it's on Mr. Thomas's YouTube channel. Watch it. How are you showing up? It's very consistent what she and I say and how it is you're showing up, what it is you're saying, what energy are you putting out there, and then are you keeping track? So that's for today. I know I went a couple of minutes over. I apologize, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing every single one of you in Dallas. Like I said, please come find me. If we haven't met, I am 5 feet tall, but when I put my shoes on, I'm 5'2". But somehow it's obvious. I don't know if you hear me or what. Somehow people know that I'm in the room. So please come and say hi. I would love to take a picture with you and get to know you. And that Monday morning, which is next Monday, I will be on here bright and shiny, right? I won't be tired, even though we don't land until 9 o'clock California time. That's okay. 2 hours later, I'll be at my pad. I'll go to bed. I'll wake up and I'll see you all and we'll continue this conversation. But I hope to see every single one of you and your new business partners in a few days in Dallas, Texas. So I'm going to turn this call back to you, Mr. Thomas.